Hey there everybody, Johnny T here, and today I am using a new camera and a new lens. I am using a Sony a7 II with the 90mm 2.8 macro lens. The lens is set at f9 at the moment, so we shouldn't have too shallow of a depth of field. But yeah, new setup. So now the distance between the watch and the lens is about 18 inches. So no more problems as far as I can tell with getting tools in to work on the watch. Like for instance, I was never really able to get any kind of tool in, but now my calipers go all the way up. So I could work on a watch pretty easily now with screwdrivers or any kind of tools. I don't have to move the camera around as much as I used to. So, enough about my camera setup. Today, we're going to be replacing the battery in this here Citizen watch. Citizen make awesome watches. This is a quartz watch. Citizen is known for their Ego Drive watches, but their quartz watches are equally as cool. So this is an old Promaster watch. It's got an analog digital interface. It's got all these little sub dials for the analogs. It's got all these different settings you could set with this bottom, I think it was the bottom left, no, bottom right pusher to go through time, the calendar, a couple of alarms, 3 alarms actually, chronograph, a timer, etc. So once you put a battery in this watch, everything is kind of set with the pushers. There's no crown, there's no way to like move the hands with the crown or anything like that. So I have to research how to actually set this watch once the battery's replaced. But the biggest thing is to get that new battery in and just make sure the watch is going to work. This watch is in overall pretty decent condition aside from the case back. It has a slide rule bezel. The bezel is bidirectional, friction fit. It's got all of that slide rule information on it that I've never seen anybody actually use in real life, but apparently you can do all kinds of cool calculations with it, like determine what percentage to tip somebody when you're done eating food, for instance. That's something that this watch bezel can do. I forget how to do that, but there's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to use these old slide rule bezels. Yeah, it's got these multiple digital windows. This watch, I think, has multiple time zones. It's a world chronograph. I'm sure it's got a perpetual calendar. You have the UTC time at the 12 o'clock subdial, and it's got this really cool black and red theme. There's splashes of yellow on the watch as well, which is really interesting. Yeah, really cool watch. It's a good case size too. I want to say it's probably 42 millimeter maybe. The band is original, I believe. Maybe Citizen didn't always sign their buckles, perhaps. Yeah, okay, so it does say Citizen on the other end there. So this is the original band, and this is the old school Promaster band with the two... Camera's running into issues focusing with these two kind of ribs. So this is the older version for sure, and this watch has been worn quite a bit. The crystal's in very good condition. It's a mineral crystal, so I'm kind of impressed with how much this watch has been worn and how little wear it actually has. So this case back is in horrendous condition. I've seen worse ones, but this one's pretty bad. I don't know what the heck. I don't know what happened. Did somebody just... It looks like a kid got a hold of this watch and just decided to go ham on the back and just crossing an X here, there's an X here. There's no way somebody caused this kind of damage to removing the case back, right? Like maybe all these issues you see around the actual indentations, maybe those are from trying to remove the case back, but the rest of this, I mean, if anybody knows a tool that could cause this kind of damage deliberately trying to remove the case back, let me know, because I'm not aware of anything. Okay, enough about this watch. Let's get the case back off. I got a sneaking suspicion that this is going to be a pain in the butt to get the back off of, so I'm just going to go ahead and get my heavy duty vise here, and I am going to just vise this in. Let's see, something like this perhaps. Is this going to work, I wonder? I think I need to move these ones back one. That might get it in a position that's better, perhaps. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to take my handy dandy, cheap, inexpensive case back remover. You adjust the how far. Oh no, I'm sorry. This little wheel adjusts these ones out. I don't have a pin in the third one because it's just, I don't see the point in using that personally. Also, you want to use the square cylinders, cylindrical tips, I guess. I guess they're not cylindrical, they're square, right? For these kinds of case backs, because it just slots in better and it gives more bite. Mine are round because I don't know where my square ones are. I actually don't even know if this had any. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply force down, even force, get these two in notches, make sure it's nice and secure, and I'm going to turn. And this isn't working because so I'm going to actually have to move these in by 2, I think. Let's see how that works. Hopefully this is going to give it a better... See, the bezel's protruding out so much that it's not letting these plastic pieces bite in properly. So and now I'm hitting the pushers, and you do not want to put unneeded stress on those pushers, so maybe I have to do it like this, perhaps. Maybe. Okay, so I'm actually hitting the 4 lugs from each corner, so we'll see if this goes any better. These indentations are very shallow. Nope, that's not gonna work either. I think I'm gonna have to... What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do here? I think I'm gonna have to put this in my professional case back opener because it's not fitting in this one properly, so I'm gonna get that set up and pause the video for a second. Be right back. Alright, and we're back. So we're going to use this professional device here. I'm going to remove this piece because it's not needed at the moment. I'm going to remove the band off of this watch because the band is trash anyways, so there's no real reason to hold on to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take... Oh man, this thing is not wanting to focus, is it? I'm just going to remove these the case, or the bands off. For some reason the camera really doesn't want to focus on that. I'm not sure. There we go. Just remove the bands with the spring bar tool. Quick and simple. You just want to get your spring bar tool in on the spring bar and pull down and remove the old disgusting band that nobody is going to want anymore. So now we need to figure out what the lug width is on this watch. So I usually get my calipers, and looks to be about 20 millimeters. So we will find our 20 millimeter blocks. So the blocks are numbered. So this one's got 20 millimeters. This one's got 20 millimeters. I usually like to lay a cloth down just to not scratch the watch in between. You don't want to really pinch, like the cloth could get caught, so you don't want to, have it pinch into the mechanism, I guess is how I'm going to describe that. But so there's these two knobs on each side. You just move the knobs, and then you want to kind of get this higher if you can, and then now it's pretty secure in there. And then we want to raise this down. So this one actually has the square tips that you're wanting to use. So this one's got what I want, what I need. And what I usually like to do is I like to just kind of press it down into the tabs. We do have to unlock these two nuts here. They're not nuts. I guess I'll call them screws. And then we just want to move these out until we are in, and then move them back. You want to be sure and put a little pressure down. Make sure we're hitting the case back the way we need to, and then you can move this nut up to the top to keep it all level. And then I screw these down to lock it in. And then there's a big wheel on the top. Let's get that in focus. And then I just turn the wheel. Assuming this stuff is actually locked in. Maybe we'll push the watch down all the way, I think, actually. Let's get this all the way down. Get as flat as we can. Okay, now let's try this again, shall we? Are these too thick? I wonder. Yeah, interesting. So what's happening here is these tips are too big to fit into the indentations, so we can't use them. I do have these smaller round ones that are a better fit, so we're going to use them instead. The best ones are the square ones though, but sometimes they don't work out. Like right now, this watch is kind of a pain in the butt, isn't it? Now these should go in pretty well. Oh, I need to loosen these up a little. That is much better. Okay. Now we should be good to go. Okay, so everything's locked in place now. I am going to turn my wheel, and this case back should now come off. Just like that. Easy peasy. Now what I like to do is just do it all by hand from here. I might do a little bit more with the machine, just not put all that leverage on it. Just kind of turn it down here, feel it, make sure I'm not causing any kind of undue stress anywhere. Okay, the rest of this can come off by hand, so this part needs to get twisted, or I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, alright, so that's that. I'm gonna stop the camera again and get it back to overhead now. 1 second. Alright, so all the information we have here, we got stainless steel, Citizen, Watchco, weather resistant up to 10 bar, it's 100 meters. Made in Japan, and then it's got GN-4-S, and then the way I usually find watches like this is with this code here, it's C300, that's the movement it uses. And then if you also Google the rest of this information, 0000192 TA, you can find this exact model, even though that's not the model number, but that's kind of just how it goes with these. So let's get the case back off and see what we're looking at. The case hasn't been off this watch in a bit, so hopefully a battery replacement's all it needs. Okay, so this is one of those watches where we have to short the watch to make sure it works. Battery short, AR and plus, all reset, that's what AR stands for. And we want to do that twice, so we want to touch it twice. And these brass tweezers should be conductive and should get that job done. That's pretty much all that says. So this bit in the center is a piezo element. That's what gives us our beeps. That's usually used for the alarm. The gasket is on here. Let's take a look at this gasket and see how it is. I think I'm gonna just probably grease it. How do I get it off though? Because it's kind of stuck on there. There we go. So this is one of those flat gaskets. I don't really have... It's also kind of hard, but it's flexible enough. I think it'll be fine. So we got a flat gasket, goes on the rim of the back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get an alcohol wipe. I usually buy these prep pads. Doesn't really matter what brand you go with. But I get these prep pads in boxes of like, I get like 2,000 of them in boxes of 100. So what's that, like 20 boxes or something. And I'm just gonna clean the gasket up with some alcohol. This will evaporate quickly. So, and you can see that there's a little bit of debris on here on this gasket. So that might cause issues with the seal later. So anyways, I'm gonna apply grease to that in a second. But usually what I use, so if like I have a pad like this and it still has a bunch of alcohol on it, I'll grab my phone and I'll just wipe my phone down really quick. I don't want it to go to waste, and my phone is always disgusting because, well, let's face it, you touch it all the time, don't you? And I'm sure the amount of bacteria that grows on your phone within minutes of it being cleaned after this with alcohol, I mean, it's probably staggering. So it can't hurt to sit here and just kind of use the rest of the alcohol on this wipe to clean my phone. Should be doing that pretty regularly in my mind. Okay, so we have a C300, which is what the watch says in the bottom right corner. Here's AR. AR is at the very bottom here, this pin. That is the AR pin. And then this is, of course, our battery plus. There's some discoloration on this movement. I don't think Rodico is going to fix that. So I'm not going to clean this with Rodico at the moment, I don't think. Yeah, beautiful movement. Very cool. Okay, so how are we going to attack this? I think all I need to do... So a watchmaker in the comment section of my videos says that whenever we see some holes here, it means that you could grab your tweezers and you can manipulate the tab, which is true. So we just want to hinge this out and it'll pull out, and then we can access this battery. I'm going to use my brass tweezers to get the battery. The battery is dead. I don't care about shorting it. I think that's where we're at this exact moment. So let's go ahead and move this over and lift it out. And I'm going to put this in with the inside of the back of the case back. Now we have an Energizer battery here, 399. There is some residue on here, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if moisture got into this watch. I'm starting to wonder, maybe that might be something that happened, perhaps. I'm just gonna grab this very, very, very damp alcohol wipe and just wipe inside of where that gasket sits really quick, just to kind of pick up any dirt. Okay. So I don't want to mess up. I don't know how nice my brass tweezers are, so I don't want to use them as a pry tool at this time. So I'm just going to use my steel dental pick to kind of do this pry work. So the spring tension's over here. So I believe if we hit it from over there, it'll pop right out, which it did. No harm, no foul. And where is my blower? I think I took my blower downstairs. I need that, don't I? Do I have an alternative? I thought I did. I need a blower. Hold on. I thought I usually have a couple of them. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay. I do have a couple. Sweet. I'm going to get my blower, I'm going to blow inside, just kind of get anything that's inside the movement out. Okay, so looking at the back of this battery, we do have some pretty light corrosion on the inside edges there, very, very light. So it says it's a 399. What does that translate to with my battery sizer for a Swiss? Yeah, 399, 395 should be good to go. Pretty sure I've got several of those. 399, 395, 399, 395. Sweet. Got some Renatas. Usually just open these up with the brass just to kind of get the really get them open. And then you always want to install the battery with your plastic tweezers. We want to come in over here where the spring is, and then I'm trying to use tweezers more often without using any other kind of tool to install a battery. What you want to do is you want to hit the side and the top like that, and that'll get your battery in like so. Now we need to reset our battery. If I recall correctly, it is battery plus and all reset, and we want to do that twice. So we want to get the AC pin at the bottom here, and then touch the battery. One. We'll do it in quick succession. 1, 2, and I'll do it one more time. 1, 2. Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna peek and see if this is running. Woohoo! It's running. Okay, cool. It's running. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and grease this gasket now. I was afraid that the watch may have gotten. I gotta clean off all the particles on this gasket really quick because I touched the towel. I was afraid that the so this new camera setup's heavy and it's really dragging my boom stand down. So I'm gonna just put this gasket in the applicator, and then I'm going to close the applicator and twisting it all the way is going to do an okay job. What I like to do is I like to pinch the top and the bottom and twist. Pinch and twist. It's not really getting that in camera, huh? Come on, stay up. Okay. So I like to pinch, twist. That, just to kind of make sure the gasket's getting greased up. So that should work. Yeah, as we can see, the gasket has got some grease on it. So I made this mistake of putting too much extra grease in this. I haven't bothered to take grease out yet because I'm silly. But we've got a bunch of excess grease on here now. I'm just gonna pull it through the whole thing. Just kind of apply it evenly with my fingers. The stuff isn't toxic, but it is kind of greasy, obviously. My fingers will pull out the excess. We want a nice even coat, not too much, not too little. Just enough to be useful. And I think that's gonna do it right there. Cool. I'm gonna set this down on top of this guy here. Grab this alcohol wipe I had earlier, just rub my fingers on it, get all this excess grease off. Okay, so now I'm going to blow out my movement one last time, just kind of get any kind of last debris out. Now we want to get, so there is a square kind of notch. We want to put the battery tab under, like so. So now that's notched in at the top. And then we just want to not put so much force down, perhaps, like I just did. Let's get this back installed here. Well, I had it in there the first time. What the heck? Getting this on video. Yep. Okay. Just like that. Okay. So now we want to hinge it back again. There we go. Just like that. Alright, we're good. And now the tab is installed again. Now we want to get our gasket, place it back onto the case back. Okay, is that working out? I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, so I just used my fingernails to just kind of rim this flat gasket back on. I'm gonna clean off my hands. I'm gonna blow out this movement one more time. And now I'm going to reinstall the case back with its newly greased gasket. And you usually want to get your spring bar pin pusher to just kind of move through the threads and make sure you're not crossing anything. Okay, I'm starting to get some resistance. Is this supposed to happen? I just scratched the case back. Oh no. After it's been this scratched. I'm going to just finish up with the ball now, I think. Yeah, that feels good, I think. I'm going to actually remove it and just take a look at the gasket and make sure I'm not hurting anything here. Yeah, no. That looks pretty good to me. Sometimes the gasket could get caught in the threads and you could shred the gasket while you put the case back on. I just wanted to, because I was getting resistance at a pretty weird place in my mind anyways. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't destroying the gasket there. Okay, I'm going to finish up with the ball again, I think. And that's good. And it is ticking. Hey, hey, hey. Beautiful. Okay, so this pusher is working. That pusher, so the top right pusher is working. Bottom left pusher is working. Bottom right pusher is working. Oh, you just heard a beep. That means the piezo is working. This top left pusher hasn't done anything yet. But, if I recall correctly, you're supposed to be able to push the bottom right crown out. Yep, true story. Oh, and the top left pusher just did something. Cool. Okay, I don't know what that did, but okay. Huh, right on. This appears to be a fully functional watch. All the pushers work. That's a problem I've seen with these models before, is the pushers don't work. But that's not something that I'm seeing with this watch, so. Right on. Right on. That makes me extremely happy. I'm probably just, I'm gonna just probably clean up all this crap with some alcohol wipes. Just clean it up a little bit. There's gunk under the bezel, but yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to set it and then time it, obviously. Beautiful watch. I love these Citizens. So what's a watch like this worth? Probably. I think this one's actually kind of a collectible rare one. Honestly, it's older, that's for sure. Probably 300. In this good of condition, yeah, probably. I mean, look at the crystal; it's in perfect condition. The only problem is like, you know, the old strap is just trashed. So I'm gonna have to throw like a new leather band or a NATO or something on it. NATO would fit pretty well with this watch, actually, a black NATO or orange NATO or something like that. Yeah, it's probably worth about 300, I think, in this condition especially. Not 100% original, but even with a third-party strap, it should still catch something like that. Let's get dimensions and call it a video. Yes, I think this video is only almost 40 minutes long at this point, isn't it? Yeah, we're looking at about 41 millimeter case size. The lug to lug is 45. The lug width is 30 or 20 because we measured that earlier, remember? So 20 millimeters, and then the thickness is 13 millimeters. So very nice watch. To give everyone a perspective, I've got a 6.5 inch wrist, and that is how that sits. If my camera will even catch that, I think it's 90 millimeters for a macro lens is actually kind of crazy. So you have to get used to that. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'm happy I was able to get this to work. I'm sure it's gonna tell time perfectly. I'm pretty sure this minute hand has been moving, hasn't it? Yes. So the hands are moving. Perfect. Beautiful. Yeah, I bet this watch runs perfectly fine. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching. If this was interesting, like and subscribe. If I helped you fix your model of this watch, definitely give me a like or subscribe. Thanks so much. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.